Hello, this is Steven with Little Big Chats, and I will be interviewing Calloway. Sway, what inspired you to be a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters?
I knew, first of all, I like how you did that intro. Give Steven a round of applause. The room, we got to celebrate Steven right now. You kicked this interview off perfectly, and this is one of the reasons why I joined this organization, is so I could meet people like you that I could see as raw talent. I could tell you passionate about what you're doing. You got your notes right here, and I had a chance to work in this industry for decades doing what it is you're doing today. So we're on the same level. And so I wanted to be able to share this information I've learned over the years and give these gems to young folks that are coming up and walking a similar path. I got a lot of information I want to give you, so that's why I joined. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you learn a lot. You probably go talk to your friends sometimes. Some of the things you've seen, you want to share with them, let them know what it's like, right? Same thing, bro. And by the way, I used to have locks in my hair. You know how you got yours?
Yes.
Yeah, mine used to come down to my ankles.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, man. It was pretty impressive. You should have saw me. I was amazing back then.
Okay.
I'm just me now.
You still are?
Yeah, thank you, man. Give it up for this kid, man. He said I'm still amazing. I love this kid. All right. Well, this young man, I'm sorry. What are you, 12?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. I'll let you do your interview, man.
So, what made you want to become who you are today?
Steven got deep questions. What made me want to become, what I didn't know where it would end up. I didn't know where it would land when I was, say, your age, sixth, seventh grade, eighth grade. I knew what I liked. And when I was younger, I used to play instruments. I used to play the saxophone, the clarinet, the bass clarinet, and I liked performing in front of people. As I got older, I was always selected to host graduations, all these different events. People would select me to moderate it. And I enjoyed directing these events. And I didn't know it would lead to this. I started off as an artist. I made music. I put records out. I signed to a major record label. That started to taper off. I started looking for more opportunity within music and entertainment, and I started working in radio. And then I started working at MTV, and then I started working back in radio, and I started producing. So it was, I wanted to be around music culture. I just didn't know where and how I would be there. So I kind of took bites in different areas, and I've been able to be successful, at least how I measure success. I've been happy with the work I've been able to do. I truly believe that when you find something you're passionate about, it's really not work, it's fun. You having fun today doing this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, these different interviews and you meeting people. So this is not really work. And so one day somebody's gonna pay you to have fun. So I get paid to have fun, but I definitely prepare for it. Is that a good answer?
Yes.
I'm used to doing what you do. I'm not used to people asking me questions, bro. Go
Same.
easy on me.
So, was there any struggle getting to where you are?
Wow. Bro, what is this? It's Stephen Winfrey over here, man. Was there any struggle? How deep do I go? Let me keep it 100 with you. The struggle when I was growing up is different from the times now. When I was growing up, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have, streaming platforms, you didn't have TikTok, Instagram, you didn't have social media, Facebook, none of these different things. So the opportunities were limited to be seen or to be heard. They were basically non-existent. And I was coming up in a genre of hip hop, which at that time was frowned on. So the kind of struggles we faced was a lot of people not believing in your vision, not believing in what you believed in. I wanted to be an artist. I had a lot of people tell me, no, we will not sign you. You're not good enough. So I went to school and learned about the law aspects of the music industry. I learned about marketing and distribution. and I learned how to press up records and press up cassettes and put them out myself. So they told me no, and I ended up doing it myself as a teenager. These are kind of the struggles that help build your character. You know, when people are slamming doors in your face, it's really important that you believe in yourself. It ain't even about belief, it's about knowing where you're headed. No matter what, those distractions won't knock you off your track. Now, I knew what I wanted to do. Did I know it would lead me to a global stage? I didn't know that, but I knew every opportunity that I got, I gave it 100%. You have your notes sitting here. You probably thought about these interviews a couple of days ago, right? You started working out, practicing. You probably practiced with your mom, you know, Mrs. Cooper. Yes. And that's because you're passionate. You don't have to do that. That's like the kid who does homework when he doesn't have to. And so this will all pay off for you. It's already paying off for you. You live in your dream now. This is your dream, and it's happening right now, right? I'm living my dream now. This has been my dream for decades, and it's still going on. It's like a beautiful, long dream that won't stop, you know? And so those struggles help build character. Those no's help build resilience, you know, and the way you navigate it and find your way through will help build wisdom. And each time you're going to be stronger. Every time you do an interview, every time you find yourself in a situation, you're going to be excited about it. You know, oh, I know, I'm Steve and I know what I'm capable of. So no matter what you throw at me, I'm going to be able to respond. So struggles to me are gems. Struggles are my friend. I know whenever I'm struggling, I'm going to get through that. And how I get through it, I'm going to be better than I was before the struggle. So embrace it, man. Take the struggle.
So, with like the struggles of hip hop in the early days, what was it like going through all of that? It was like a new experience.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was I'm trying to think of what I could compare. It's like, what do you play? Fortnite? What do you play? You play on video games? You do that?
Yes,
You know, do you remember when you got your first console? What you got?
PS4.
PS4. Remember that excitement when you first had hip hop when I was coming up? That excitement was in the air no matter where you went, right? It was so new and it was rebellious. It was a hip hop in its beginning stages was a way that people expressed people who were disenfranchised or people who weren't being represented on TV. You didn't see them in movies. You didn't see them on the news. Only time you saw them on the news, it was negative. You know, they didn't have the same opportunities. They didn't have the same resources to excel in this, you know, excel in society like others did. So hip hop was kind of like a subgenre, a subculture that's created itself because people wanted to be heard and they weren't being, that there was no place for it to happen. But at the same time, as it was happening, there was an excitement that was brewing. You know, you knew that something was coming. You know, and eventually, hip hop became something that corporate America saw as valuable, and you know, start receiving the kind of support it could use, but it didn't receive the guidance. You know, but when we first started coming up, breaking, you know, dancing, rapping, DJing. I can't even explain it, man. It was like a euphoria. You know, some of the people you see now, somebody like a LL Cool J, who people know him from being an actor now. He was one of the first artists to ever become a pop star that came from. He was the first teen pop idol out of hip hop was LL Cool J for some of the albums he put out. Well, LL was like us, and to see him succeed as a teenager made us feel like, oh man, we can do it too. Like the kid Kai Sinet, right? You look at him and you see what he's been able to create with his platform at a young age. He's 23, make you feel like, dang, I could do that too. It's inspiration. So hip hop became an inspiration for us. It helped us set goals. It let us know that how we look, how we think, how we act was okay, you know, and taught you not to care about what other people thought about you.
Right. So
Yeah.
like with coming up with your career, what are like some mistakes that you've made, maybe that you w- think that you could improve on now, like that you have improved on now?
I'll speak to being a correspondent, a news correspondent, right? So when I first started doing news officially was with the TV network MTV. And at that time, MTV was the largest youth network in the world. Pop culture was funneled through MTV. When I came to MTV, I had done so much stuff in radio and culture and concert tours and production deals. I was pretty established by the time I came to MTV, but no one who watched MTV knew it. I think one of the mistakes I made early on was initially I did not want to work there because of what they represented wasn't aligned with what I represented. I was all about underground hip hop, what's real. MTV was all about pop culture, manufactured dance groups, and people who act like others. You know, a lot of white groups that acted like black groups. You know, and at that time I wasn't into that. And the mistake I made is I closed my mind to receiving people as they are and to finding just to be able to look at what I thought in my mind was something that wasn't good. And once I opened my mind and said, let me embrace this, the same way I embrace what I love in hip hop, I can embrace in all music, I can embrace in all people. And what I did over the years, I started correcting that and I started interviewing groups that you probably wouldn't normally think somebody like me would. I had the locks and everything. So I'm interviewing groups like Creed or U2 or Blink 182 or all of these different big groups that were out at that time, even the boy bands, NSYNC, Britney Spears. I interviewed them all. And it was a great experience being able to test my skills and not to pigeonhole myself or keep myself in a box mentally, right? The strongest muscle in your body is your mind. And the way you're going to get to the places you want to go is through your mind. And if you box your mind in, you limit your opportunities, right? You're not going to be able to see, not going to be able to hear, taste, or smell things that you would have if you kept an open mind. So one of the biggest mistakes I made was being closed-minded initially. Early on, also, I chased the money. And when I stopped chasing money and wanted to create opportunity and create moments, down the line, the money eventually came. You know, I don't think about the money. I think about the art, and I think about the work, the presentation, and how it's going to impact those who see it. Damn, that was a good question, man. I've never been asked that.
Do you have any like words of like improvement to give to the next generation of people like DJs or people who are in hip hop?
Yeah, a couple of things is love yourself. Love yourself first. Love yourself first. When you're in love with yourself and you love yourself, you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure you're set up okay. You're gonna do everything in your power to be the best at what you do, what you love. If you want to be a DJ, then you should be like DJ Sophia Rocks, right? And she practices every day. If it's something you love to do, practice like you practice during these interviews prior to coming, right? That way you could prepare yourself to give your best presentation and things become second nature for you. You know what I mean? And then you have your best results. So starting with loving yourself help push you to do the things that's necessary to improve yourself. You will never know it all, and there's never a shortage of information to learn. If you're Will Smith, if you're if you're a president, if you're a billionaire, whatever it is, life has more information for you to learn than you have time on this planet. So always keep an open mind to learning. You know, always keep an open mind to working hard, not taking shortcuts. The shortcuts will end your career short. It's okay. Take the long route because along the way you're gonna learn things that you wouldn't have if you take the shortcut. I used to be friends with a guy named Tupac Shakur. And I used to go to his house in Oakland where I grew up. He had an apartment by a place called Lake Merritt. And we were young, and we used to go to his house and sit and listen to this young man just drop gems to us, right? And one of the things he said, the problem with the game today is people are deep in the game but got the rules missing. And he compared it to climbing a ladder but skipping steps. And then you get to the top and you don't understand why your foundation is unstable. You know, you skip steps. So I would advise young folks coming up, don't skip steps. Be totally dedicated to what it is you love. Don't pigeonhole yourself to one thing. You might love something on Monday and love something on Wednesday. You could love both of them. You could do more than one thing. When we was growing up, people made us think you go to school, you get a job, and you gonna work that job for 30 years, 40 years, you know, and some have, and I'm not knocking that, but we are allowed and we have permissions to love more than one thing and to do more than one thing. But whatever it is you do, my mother used to tell me you could fool all the people all the time or fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool yourself. You know, you could lie to yourself, but you can't fool yourself. You know, and if you haven't put in the work, then you can't expect a real result. You know, but I would also tell young folks, while you're doing all of this, smile, enjoy it. Smile and enjoy it. You know, the issues will always be there, but smile and enjoy it. Welcome those issues. Welcome those hurdles you got to jump over. And smile while you do it, because you're going to come out the other side and then you get to say, oh, I laughed all the way through it. It didn't hurt me. It helped me. I think that's what I got for you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, this has been Steven with DJ Sway with Little Big Chat.